Poems. You might love them or you might hate them. One thing's for sure though, there's so many different types of poems. For those struggling with analyzing poetry, it's best to use this acronym, TPCASTT. It stands for title, paraphrase, connotation, attitude, shift, title again, and theme. Start with the title. Make a prediction about the content of the poem. Next, paraphrase. Read the poem and create your own summary of the poem's meaning based on your initial understanding. After that, you'll begin looking for a more symbolic meaning of the poem or its implicit connotations. SCASTT also comes in handy here. Consider the tone and attitude of the poem and comment on the atmosphere it creates, because it'll help you put in context the emotions the writer wants the reader to feel. Talk about any changes or shifts in attitude by looking out for time changes, punctuation, and contrasting ideas. Doing this will help you analyze the text structure, style, and syntax. After you've done all this, it's time to look back at the title to see if your initial interpretation needs some adjusting. Then it's time for the final step. Identify the main theme of the poem and base your analysis around this by linking your observations to it. The theme is the ultimate core of any poem or piece of literature for that matter. Common themes include youth, loss, death, love, and nature. And if you find more than one theme, that's perfectly okay. In the first stage of planning, don't be afraid to start out commenting on the more obvious and straightforward meaning of the poem first. We call this the poem's surface meaning, and it's important that you know what it is first. But after you've conducted an initial analysis, it's time to go further. To do this, think about the connotations of certain words and whether or not they can be considered double entendres. There are also a couple of things to be on the lookout for. First up, the rhythm of the poem. Does the poem have a conversational light rhythm, or is it long, monotonous, and drawn out? Does the rhythm add to the poem's overall message? Next, look out for certain sounds, for example, onomatopoeia, alliteration, and sibilants. Repeated words can emphasize the poem's meaning and theme, so practice spotting repetition, which usually reflects emotion and can provide more structure in the poem. Similarly, you should also look out for repeated sounds or rhyming. As always, your commentary should talk about the effect on the reader and whether or not the poet achieved his or her intentions. With lots of practice, you should be able to confidently use TPCASTT to analyze poems. Good luck!